This is the Hoops With Us podcast, and I'm joined by a very special guest today, Coach Jeff Berokoff. Coach, how you doing today?
Alex, what's up, my man? Just hanging in there, baby.
I hear you. Same here. Same here. All right, Coach. So what I usually do to start off the show is ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey with coaching.
Yeah, first of all, I'm glad you asked me to be on. I got a chance to throw on a polo and comb my hair, so that was nice. Shoot, man, I've been coaching since after my college basketball playing days. I started coaching for my high school coach, Coach Mike Murphy out of Sonora High School, who I think is one of the best high school coaches in the country. So I coached his sophomore team and then the JV teams there, and then got my first head varsity gig at 25 years old at Pomona High School. Was there for a few years, then went to El Medina High School in Orange County. Was there for about 6 years, and then I landed at the place I'm currently at, which has been a dream come true, which is Pacifica Christian High School along the beach in Newport Beach, Orange County, and been there for, this is my 5th year. This was our 4th year competing at the varsity level. We founded the school 5 years ago with simply a freshman and sophomore class, about 40 kids, and it's gone from there.
Awesome, Coach. All right, so the next question that I got for you is, like you just said, you coach at Pacifica Christian High School. Tell us about your team's culture and the support that you get from the community.
Yeah, right from the get-go, our culture, culture is not something that just happens. It's something that, we as leaders and coaches, we have to live it, and we have to pursue it every day with our actions and, what we allow and permit. And so we base our program off of three things, and they're 3 words, and all the kids know them. It's agape, which is the highest form of love, courage, and toughness. And each of those pillars mean something to our kids. And this year we put agape on our shooting shirts, and that was just about playing for others, showing a sacrificial type of love, meaning it wasn't about who scored. So we often, it's hard for kids to cheer for others, cheer for others' successes. So that's something that we've been trying to instill in them for the past 4 or 5 years. And, if you're able to go see a Pacifica Christian game, you see guys cheering for each other, high-fiving, and that's just something that we really believe in. Like to have fun, but it's about others, and then courage, being courageous to not make a mistake. Like, it's okay to make a mistake. A lot of kids are afraid to make a mistake, or, and that's okay. Basketball players, you play it. We're not going to play a perfect game. So, having no fear of the opponent you play, we try to schedule the best teams we can, and we're not worried about our win-loss record. We're just worrying about creating the best competitive young men that we possibly can. And when they leave our school, we hope that we've prepared them to compete in the real world, and not just, hey, we're going to lay out 15 easy wins for you, and our coaching staff's record is going to be incredible. It's not about that. And then the last one was just toughness, just being tough, and taking charges, and getting up at 5 a.m. for the morning practices, and so we just say those 3 things. It's agape, courage, and toughness, and that's kind of our culture. And it's important that myself and my assistant coaches, we live that every day by how we treat them. We high-five them. Even when we're not feeling great that day, we have good energy. We're positive with the kids. And that's really important. Because a lot of people throw great slogans around. They put posters up, and they give their team handouts. But, 2 days later, they're, never addressing it again. I mean, we talk about those three things every day, every week, every practice, every game, because we believe in them. And I believe in it. And, there's obviously a lot of great words you can use, and great systems and pillars. Those are just the ones that, I have fallen in love with over the course of, my playing career and my coaching career.
Absolutely. Yeah. When I would do the podcast with other coaches that I've done in the past, like you were saying about how your players are always cheering for each other, I think the big part of it is just accepting your role once you get onto a team. I think that's one of the biggest things with kids in high school nowadays. You may have a different role if you go to a different school, but if you just accept your role, I think you can make things work with a team.
Yeah, Alex, I agree with you, because sometimes the role you may have is the kid, the player that high fives or lifts up his teammate when things are going well, and you're only playing 4 or 5 minutes a game. But it's really important, though, us as leaders of young men, that everybody's a part of the team. Love isn't dictated on how much playing time you get, and a lot of people feel that way. And I think it's important that, and that's human nature. I mean, as a player, I felt that way. My coach didn't like me because I got subbed out or whatever it may be. But those are things in our culture, at our basketball program, in our school, that we're really trying to instill in them every day, that playing time does not dictate how we feel about you and your role on the team. It's really imperative that we as leaders, make every guy, every gal feel part of the team in a very special and unique way. So they do genuinely cheer for one another, and there's no jealousy or spitefulness amongst the team, because that could really tear a team apart, and that's not fun.
Yeah, for sure. That could definitely be a cancer to a team, jealousy.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. So the next question that I got for you is, you built your team into a top 5 team in Orange County. Tell us about the work that your guys put in, and what does your team do different from other teams to achieve this goal?
Oh, it's a good question. Our first year we got lucky. We had a kid come and believe in our program, what we were trying to do, and believe in me. And his name was Dominic Harris. Played for us for 2 years, and when you build a school, it's really important that people are able to see you succeed and have good players come to your school, because we are a small school. And he came and we jump-started our program. Our first year of varsity, we made a CIF championship. We started 4 freshmen, and I think the historians, we tried to look it up, and I think that was the most freshmen that ever started in the past 40 years in the CIF finals game, which was awesome. So we instilled those 3 pillars once we started the program. The program actually started with just a frosh-off team, and I think we only won like 1 game. But I'll tell you what, I loved coaching those kids. Those guys weren't like basketball guys. They were there to found the school. We were starting something, and they sure played with every ounce of energy and every might that they had. And it was, even in a 50-point loss, they were trying their hardest. And I'll tell you what, looking back on those days, it sure makes you a better coach, having to teach a simple catch without traveling, a jab step, a shot fake, the whole deal that we sometimes as coaches take for granted when we have good players. So that year was awesome. Even though we only won 1 game, I loved that year. I loved those kids. We had a great time. And then the next year was our first year competing at the varsity level. We made championship game, lost, and then slowly players started to recognize kind of what we were doing, and it looked a little different as far as our energy, our effort, our enthusiasm, which, as a lot of high schools out here in Southern California have great culture, great programs. So for me, it was just important that we try to do things a little bit differently, and kind of beat to our own drum. And so as that went along, we had a few players transfer in, and really put a shot of energy into the program. And Solomon Davis and Judah Brown. Solomon Davis is playing at Westmont, and Judah Brown is just committed to St. Mary's. He'll be playing there next year. And then another kid come in. Luckily, he moved down here with his dad for a job, Houston Millette. I think Houston's been on this with you, and Houston, in my opinion, is one of the top point guards in the country. And we've had a great freshman class come in, and we had Josh Sims and Timmy Bahad, our current seniors, that they started every game since they were freshmen.
Wow.
I think I was looking at Timmy. Timmy just committed to Vanguard. I was looking at his stats, and we're going over the records, and he's played in 118 varsity games. I mean, that's just insane. So I've been really lucky to coach some really great kids who believed in our culture, what we're trying to do with the basketball program, who believed in the mission of the school. I mean, the leadership from the school is phenomenal. They completely support me and what I'm doing. And for our administration, it's not wins and losses. It's about the experience and how we're molding our athletes. What are we teaching them? Are we preparing them? Now, mind you, we do want to win. I mean, winning is fun. That's the ultimate goal is to win. But the kids aren't enjoying the experience, and they hate their coach, but we're winning tons of games, and that goes on a lot of places, and wins can mask those things, but I'm not in that business for that. I'm in it for the relationships with the kids, and I love all my kids. I love them all, and I think your kids are your best recruiters. They tell other kids, "Hey, man, like this is what we're doing over there." I have a great coaching staff, Alex, and I've got a couple of the best, Matt Scott, Lucio Bellano, two of the best skill development guys in the West Coast. I've got great assistants that believe in the program, believe in the kids, and most importantly, they love the kids. So I think when you put all that together, the really good players, the culture we have, the assistant coaches, the skill development guys, we now have an incredible strength and conditioning program with the guy. His name is Josh Graves. He's fantastic. The guys are Zooming with him 6 days a week. Now, that's about 5 days a week right now, a couple of stretching days they get in there. But I mean, really blessed and lucky to be able to do so many great things in only 4 years. I mean, so thanks for asking that question.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Coach, the next question that I got for you is, I believe you guys went 22-8 this past season. What are you guys doing to improve this great record that you already had for next year?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're really focused on the basics and doing the best we can through Zoom as far as developing our players, their skill level. I mean, so many people are dribbling and doing those things, which we are. I mean, you have to. Most of our kids don't have access to a hoop unless it's at their house, but they're doing their best. So we put them on a pretty good plan. They're going 5 days a week. They're doing about 4 days of dribbling a week. We have them on a running program, very light running, which is mostly like sprints, and we chart them through an app called Strava. We're not trying to have a cross country team over here, but we're more focused on them just logging their stuff in, holding them accountable, because we're going to be young next year. We return 5 guys, 3 freshmen that played varsity, and I think 3 of the 3 under the radar freshmen who I think everybody will be taking notice in the next few years. EJ Bryson, Tanner Deal, and Jack Shar. And then we return Rion Giovanni, who will be a junior. He's going to break a lot of 3-point records. He's already made about 200 threes in 2 years. And then, of course, Houston Millett, we return him. So it's just those are the crew that are returning. It's keeping those guys tight, bonded, and then having them work with the JV guys who will be coming up. We try to meet we do meet every Tuesday on Zoom as a family, as a group. We talk about what we're doing. We're about to start a book together called The Hard Hat. I'm excited for the guys, and it talks about how to be a great teammate. And so we're going to start The Hard Hat next week. So it's just about connectivity, having the kids keep a great attitude to what they're doing, and just holding them accountable. Even we may not see the guys for the next couple months still, which is heartbreaking, but we can still hold them accountable, still track them, still follow them to keep building their relationships. Right now, Zoom, text. I mean, as you know, everybody knows it's important that you're connecting with your guys. So we're hoping that our skill level is high when we do come back, and that we're not far behind. And my skill coaches have really taken the reins on this one on Zoom, and they've been doing these incredible workouts. But I think it all comes down to holding the kids accountable, making sure they're showing up with great attitudes. They're believing in each other, and so far so good, doing the best we can, right? It's crazy. That's crazy, man.
It definitely is crazy. All right, Coach, the last question that I got for you today is, I'm an East Coast guy, born and raised in New York. I've never been out to the West Coast, but I follow basketball all around the nation, and especially California, because there's great talent out there. So if you could tell us about the California culture of basketball. I know there's hundreds of great talent out there, especially in your guys' conference. So just explain to us the culture out there and the competitiveness.
Yeah, I mean, California, best players, best coaches in the country, in my opinion. Just because there's so many people, so many kids here. It's the most populous state in our country. So, I think the most NBA guys are from California currently right now. And I think what's going on in California is really special and unique. You have Northern California, Southern California, Central Coast. I mean, there's so many players, Alex. And the hard part about having so many players is a lot of these players, they get overlooked, right? And which is hard because there's just not enough spots for all these kids. So I personally, California has the best hoopers in the country. I mean, coaches here are fantastic. Now, with that being said, with so many people, not everybody's good, right? So, you see skill levels of all kind, but just more of it, because like if you're in a smaller state, you may have, your 10 elite guys, and then the talent is really far and few between there. In California, there's just so many elite guys. I mean, I would put the top 100 guys in California up against anybody anywhere. I would think if that was a tournament, California would come out on top. But I mean, I'm born and raised here, so I'm a Cali guy. Although I love the East Coast. I love the East Coast weather. And I was a player. I was always told I was an East Coast kid, like an East Coast guy, and I never really understood that until I got older. What really that meant. I think the East Coast has always had those like tough, hard-nosed type players. And California had a bad rap for a long time of being chill and too cool. But I don't think you can say that anymore at all about California. And that was never, I never really bought into that statement anyways, and especially now with all the players in California. Man, thanks for asking that. I mean,
for sure. Yeah, I've always been like, once I started doing this, I was following people all across the country, prospects from all across the country, and always California guys would pop up on my Twitter feed and everything. And like you said, there's tons and tons of top ranked guys out there. And like you said, guys that fly under the radar as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's why D2 and Indiana ball is so good right now. D3 ball, NCCAA basketball, because there's just so many good players. Mm-hmm. And, we're seeing across America, like so many levels. There are just so many good dudes out there just playing. And, I have a current unsigned senior right now, Charles Irving, who I think is really good. And he'll find a place. And there's a spot for everybody, but he's really good. And he doesn't have a home just yet. And I have another kid that's an unsigned senior, Josh Sims. We're still looking for a home for him. And when you show his film to, other schools across the country, like, he's pretty good. He'll help us out. And there's a lot of kids and a lot of unsigned seniors out here in California and across the nation too, just because there hasn't been a spring for these kids to play. And I feel really bad for them. So I'm glad you're doing this. I'm glad you're spreading the word, and you got a little movement going on. I think it's great for you out there. And I'm glad Coach Cook from Life Pacific connected us.
Absolutely.
I'm rooting for you, Alex. I appreciate being on, man.
Yeah, thank you very much, Coach. Like you just said, I appreciate you for being on the show, and wish you guys nothing but the best of luck next year. Hopefully this coronavirus pandemic ends soon so you can get back with your guys, get back in the gym, and get better.
That's right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Stay safe, Coach.
Yeah, you too, Alex.
Thank you.